Let's talk about the media meltdown. Specifically, though, it's the liberal media, the leftist media, that's hurting the most. That's strange. Isn't it kind of strange? Well, there are reports now that MSNBC and CNN are announcing major layoffs, even of on-air talent. This headline from The Hill says CNN to axe hundreds of employees in a new round of layoffs, and MSNBC suffering a new low, as if they could stoop no lower. Now, we don't know exactly which on-air talent will get the axe. I have a list, in case anyone's wondering. The Guardian, meanwhile, announced that it will no longer use X, formerly Twitter, and fired CNN anchor Don Lemon says he's doing the same. He's leaving. A lot of leftists are leaving in... Aww. I know, it's really sad. How will we cope? Now, could this be a temper tantrum because they are losing their influence? Just today, ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino said this. Clearly, she's trolling these idiots, saying X usage is at an all-time high and continues to surge. To all of our users of every interest, political party, and point of view, you will always have a place to engage and join the global conversation freely and safely. Legacy gatekeepers are yesterday's news. That's why they're having such a hard time coping with this, because they can't just say bullshit without getting community notes, without having people say they don't want to hear this or that's not true, or having to face real conversation. They don't want to do that. Now, The Guardian says they're leaving the platform because, here's the quote, they think the benefits of being on X are now outweighed by the negatives, and the resources could be used promoting our journalism elsewhere. Where? I don't know. They say that the platform is rife with far-right hate, but they don't specify what that means to prove that there's far-right hate on X. All they link to is a personal narrative of one of their journalists who tried to leave X and then decided not to. It's dumb. That's not proof. You're doing it wrong with your hyperlinks. Just this woman said she felt like X had helped fuel January 6th and the Southport riots, which turned out to be based on valid concerns about terrorism and immigration. But okay, good riddance to them. So do you think this will help the existing problem that we showed you in recent Gallup polls, that trust in the media is at an all-time low? Here is Don Lemon, legacy media CNN anchor who was fired. He says he's leaving X, and here's why.
Hi, everyone. I have loved connecting with all of you on Twitter and then on X for all of these years. But it's time for me to leave the platform. I once believed that it was a place for honest debate and discussion, transparency and free speech. But I now feel it does not serve that purpose.
Okay, he goes on to say that the new terms of service for X are such that if you want to litigate against them, it has to be done in Texas, because that's where Elon Musk has headquarters all of his companies now. And he thinks Texas favors Republican type concerns, and he thinks that's a scandal. I don't really see that a scandal, that you on your own company give yourself home field advantage on your terms of service. Pretty much every business contract specifies the state for litigation, and you get to choose where you think you would litigate the best. That's how this works. So maybe he's never seen a contract before. Actually, we know he's seen a contract because we have leaked documents of the contract he tried to put in place with X. Recall earlier in the year, he was trying to launch a show on X because Elon Musk had said he wants a diverse view of platforms and diversity of viewpoints after Tucker Carlson launched his successful show on X. So Don Lemon said, okay, I'll step up, I'll do this. But the Daily Mail leaked his diva demands, and the list was insane. You can find it yourself here. It included $5 million, a Tesla Cybertruck, $10 million per year in free ads to his show on X, a fully built out studio paid for by X, the ability to advise the company on all decisions about news content, which means he wanted to decide what gets censored and what doesn't. He also wanted the ability to approve any other news shows that X might put on the platform. So if, let's say, Redacted was going to go there, he would say, no, I don't want them. I do want them. He wanted to be fully in control. And I know it's funny, right? It's hilarious. And he wanted a share of all future shares on X plus equity stake. You want to laugh more about that, Philip? I love this.
How big do you think
I
your
just
name is to demand that stuff?
Exactly.
I know.
Like, you've got to be so full of yourself to be like, I know it's not my platform, but it is now. If I'm there, it's mine now. I get full control over everything. Like, settle down.
I mean,
dude.
when I worked at Fox News, I was there on, Fox and Friends for many years, and every 3 years it was like contract renewal time. And I sort of lived in fear. I'm like, I hope I did a good job.
Right.
I hope they like me enough to invite me back and to offer me a new contract for another 3 years. And I used to go through that every 3 years at Fox News. Like, imagine the balls to be like, I want a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger Ailes, I want a Cybertruck. I'm not gonna anchor Fox and Friends anymore unless I get my demands.
I want to be your on-air talent hiring person. So if I don't like somebody that's also on the network, I want to say to kick them off.
Oh, you're thinking about hiring Tucker Carlson? You call me first, and I'll make a decision.
It wasn't even.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Look at these documents. Go back and look at the documents from the Daily Mail, and it wasn't even very formal. It called him Don. Don wants this, and Don wants that. I mean, if you look at his content on YouTube, because he's no longer going to be serving it on X, his view count's not super great. So people are not really thirsty for his opinion on things. Maybe it's going to be better because he won't dilute it by putting it on X. But I don't mind saying that his show is horribly obnoxious. What he does basically is roam the streets, bothers people to ask them about their politics, and then interrupts them and tells them they're wrong. Watch, here's one example.
Women I've been talking to are really, really concerned, and they're emotional, and I think a lot of them have a right to be.
Politicians aren't perfect. They're imperfect like everybody else. Trump's rhetoric isn't for everybody. His style isn't for everybody. We got a lot of good things done under Trump.
Okay, then what they did, meaning a woman's right to choose, is removed under Trump.
That's not the only issue in this world, okay? A percentage of the female vote went up 2%. So are those women crazy? I mean, it's not 50%, but it's high 40s, and he got that. So ask those women, like, they voted for Trump. So clearly it wasn't just abortion was the issue. Now, I agree. Even in very Republican states, pro-choice amendments have done very, very well, okay? So it is a concern. I think most people are pro-choice, okay? But at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of people, there's other things. They're concerned about the broken border. They're concerned about crime. They're concerned about inflation. They're concerned about a lot of other things. So women are not one-dimensional. Men are not one-dimensional. And so if you're upset about abortion, great. If that's your prime issue, then go live in a state that's pro-choice. If it's not your one issue, like a lot of people voted for Trump, you got other things to care about, and he'll fix those things. Not totally, but he'll do his best.
I think it's easy for you to say as a man.
Well, dude, it's easy for me to say about a lot of things. Sure, I'm not a woman. That's why I don't opine on abortion.
It's amazing all of these uneducated.
So condescending.
Well, it's amazing all these uneducated Trump voters who are not well read on the issues.
Yes,
right?
That's what I was thinking when I was listening to that. I was like, okay, guy. I mean, if you see Don Lemon coming up to you, he's going to try to condescend whatever it is you say, no matter how brilliantly you say it.
I would have been like, why'd you ask me the question then, idiot?
Right.
Yeah, if it's so easy for me, then don't talk to a man about abortion.
But also, did you notice how what a dick he is too, Don Lemon? It's like, the whole time he's looking at him, he's like looking at who else is like looking at him. He's like, oh, there's a woman over here. Hi, how are you? I'm not even listening to this guy talk right now. I have my agenda. Oh, hi, how are you? He's not even paying attention to this guy.
Is that really a good point, though? Like, it's easy for you to say this. Like, it's easy for any of us. We're not currently being killed, so we have the opportunity to talk. So anyway, he won't be on X anymore. It's so sad you won't be able to find it there, but you still can find his work on YouTube and Facebook, and he'll have to bankroll it himself.
Oh, great.